Hello and welcome on Nine's Wide World of Sports to the finals of this year's Lipton Championships. We're going to be bringing you both the women's and the men's finals. A great week here for Australian tennis with young Patrick Rafter, but Andre Agassi handled his action. But today is women's final day, and Betsy, Steffi Graf against Natalia Zvereva, and Graf is doing pretty good these days. Not a set lost in '94.
No, she's playing just dominating tennis. She hasn't lost a match since last November, and she's on a streak of match wins, hasn't dropped a set this year, and you know, she's just really playing some of the best tennis of her life.
How about Natalia Zvereva, though? A pretty good performance here this week.
Well, a real surprise finalist, but she's had a great tournament. She's one half of the world's best doubles team, so she can play the game. She's a good serve and volleyer. She can mix the ball up all over the place. She's got a good topspin. She's got good slice, and you know, she could just give Steffi a little bit of problems. I mean, she has a dismal record against her. She's 0 for 13, but it's a different Zvereva. She's got some confidence. She's got a tournament win under her belt. You know, we may just see a competitive match.
First point. Beat Chanda Rubin, young American player, in the final of the Virginia Slims in Chicago.
That's always a real barometer of Steffi Graf's play, that forehand, and whether or not she makes a lot of errors is going to be something that Zvereva will be hoping for.
As everybody does when they play Steffi, but she builds her game around that. You know, Pam, everybody in tennis, women's tennis, gets remembered for something, and you know, the Steffi Graf forehand is probably the most feared shot ever in tennis. I feel like.
To be a champion, you need something that intimidates.
15-all, first game.
Well, Steffi Graf has really only had one tough set in this tournament. That was the last set she played against Lindsay Davenport. Davenport had the 2 set points, as Betsy mentioned in the opening. Other than that, it was clear sailing. She beat Kamiko Date, who's a top 10 player from Japan, the first one ever, 6-1, 6-1 in the quarterfinals.
Close to losing a set to Lindsay Davenport, who is part of the USTA Player Development Program, that headquarters here in this stadium. They just moved in. Graf holds on, 1 game to love. Steffi Graf, no surprise, best of 3 sets. Zvereva to serve after this. Second game, Zvereva serving, 15 love.
Zvereva, of course, had a little tougher time, but she got to the final stage here without dropping a set. In the quarterfinals, she upset the number 4 seed Jana Novotná in 2 tie breaks, and then, of course, it was Brenda Schultz who upset the 2-time defending champion Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, and she handled her good friend Brenda Schultz very comfortably.
Well, that's 2 times now in this game that Natasha Zvereva has come to the net in the first point, and then on that last point, she's up 40 love. It's always such a help to get that first service game under your belt against the number 1 player.
And she's doing it positively. I mean, she's coming in, she's willing to take some risks, and she said she needs desperate measures. Her record against Graf is not good, and she really needs to be positive and aggressive.
40-15, Pam, after Zvereva won the US Open doubles with you, she said that was one of her most important victories. She's only got better since then, hasn't she? She's won, what, 7 now doubles titles.
She's actually won more Grand Slam titles in the last 2 years than Steffi Graf. And believe me, doubles counts.
So Zvereva holds on, and it's 1 game all in the first set. She has also won one mixed doubles. That was the Australian Open with Jimmy Pugh.
Actually, Zvereva and Gigi Fernandez, Pam, are actually starting to just pose a career that is getting not even close to what you and Martina enjoyed, but they're the closest that have come to you. You guys won 109 consecutive titles at one point. And
well, matches. I wish it was titles.
Matches. Titles would have been good.
That would have been excellent.
Zvereva has never won a match against Steffi Graf, and they have played a whole number of times, as you can see. Only 2 sets. French Championships in '88 was a disaster for Zvereva. But things are already looking better today. 15 all.
Those 2 sets that Zvereva was able to win were on clay, where this powerful shot right here, this huge forehand, gets a little neutralized on the slower clay. On a faster court, it's just much deadlier.
15-30.
And that's the serve Steffi Graf likes to hit most, and she does it better than most any woman righty. Is she goes out wide to the ad court very well, and that's going to be tough for Natasha with her 2-hander.
Game point Graf. Zvereva is from Belarus, a country of a population of just about 10 million people. Became independent in '91. Of course, it was part of the old Soviet Union.
That's too good. When you do come in, decide you're going to come in against Graf, you really have to come in on something very, very good and really mean it, because this is what she's so good at. She's so quick with her feet that she can get around. That ball was pretty close to the sideline, and she was still able to hit a winning forehand.
Sailed that one just long. She is not playing badly so far. 2 games to 1. Graf of Germany leads. Graf hits the first forehand long of that point, and it's 15-love. Zvereva, 2 games to 1 Graf.
And that's 5 times now Zvereva's come to net. Only lost 1 of those points.
Good play again, just really sticking with her aggressive plan. And it's great to see. This was her plan the last time they played the Virginia Slims Championships in New York. And of course, it's on an indoor court. It's much faster. And it did not work very well for her, and that's because Steffi Graf was just so on that day.
The guys in the locker room kid Heinz Gundhardt about Steffi Graf, and he said to me yesterday, the only thing that I have to worry about with Steffi Graf is that she should not get bored out there, because she has not lost a set in so long.
She's not the type to get bored, is she? She's so self-motivated and disciplined and such a perfectionist that she just keeps wanting to improve her game.
Peter Graf also enjoys coming down here to the South Florida sun. That is Steffi's father. Just behind Heinz Gundhardt.
Well, the backhand pass is not working so far. That's 3 or 4 she's missed. But earlier in the game, Steffi Graf took a 30-love point second serve and came in behind the second serve. And that's something that she wouldn't do a couple of years ago when she was losing to Sabatini all those times. So she's starting to show a little more variety in her game, which probably is a reason why she keeps a little motivated.
Game point. Oh yes, that's a good court coverage, and then well played by Zvereva, and we are even 2 games all in the first set.
And what a big game for Natalia to win, too, because it's not easy to hold a couple times in a row against Graf. And this was she handcuffed Graf. She didn't really know which way to go because she can hold this ball, and she can go either way as well. You just get a little glimpse of some of the fun she has out there.
Love 15, in fact, the both of you were saying that you hope that we see some of the fun side of her because she is a fun person. She enjoys playing, and she's, one of the fun lovers of the women's tour, isn't she?
Certainly is. She and Gigi certainly have a lot of character in doubles on the court.
Missed it.
Well, she's pressing, and she is forcing Graf, into making some errors because she's consistently keeping some pressure on.
Graf has taken care of Lindsay Davenport a couple of times this year, but you're going to be seeing a lot of this young lady, player development program protege. She did well at the Australian quarterfinals against Graf, and here semi-finalist against Graf. Good year.
And what a great job, too, she did in the semifinals. She was absolutely blown away in that first set, 6-love, and hung in there and actually broke Steffi, had 2 set points, and was just not able to convert them.
Well, Zvereva had an opening here. It was love 30, and she had 2 second serves and made 1 return, but it was pretty much a shot that Graf could take a hold of with a forehand. Missed that last one. Those are the opportunities you need to capitalize if you're going to threaten Graf.
Missed that one, so here is a break point for Zvereva.
Again, she's, it's in Graf's mind that Zvereva can move well enough to track down all these balls, and it's putting some pressure on Graf to have to come up with something a little too good, maybe a little too soon.
The sun is in Graf's eyes, too. Serving from that side at this time of the day, just short of 1:30 in the afternoon on the East Coast. There's the breaker serve, and would you believe it, it goes to Natalia Zvereva of Belarus. We'll be back with more from the Lipton Championships after this word from our local stations. Oh! 15-love Zvereva, 3-2 Zvereva. She's taking on Steffi Graf. Score alone at this stage is a surprise. Zvereva off to a very good start, 30-love.
And that's Graf's 7th forehand error, unforced error, and that is always, as we said at the top, a barometer for Graf's game. And right now, that's a disaster for her.
Yeah, and a lot of times in really critical, big occasions, that's the side that has gone astray. I mean, it's deserted her. Last year here in the final, 49 unforced errors, some huge number of forehand errors against Sanchez Vicario. Graf's only been broken 4 times now this whole week. She was broken 3 times coming into this final.
She likes to have pace on her forehand, and the second serve of Zvereva gets up and it's got quite a lot of spin. She's not as happy with that.
Exactly what you were saying. I mean, if you can keep that ball out of her striking zone.
Game points Zvereva. Zvereva was a terrific junior player. She won a couple of doubles titles, the French and Wimbledon junior doubles in 1987 with Andrei Medvedev's sister. 40-30.
And these are the danger games, because she was up 40-love and now it's 40-30, and you always get a little nervous when you've lost a couple of game points. You've had a big lead. As we look here at the replay, and Graf is just able to nail that forehand. This is a huge point now. She doesn't want to get it back to deuce after having 3 game points for a 4-2 lead.
As you say, Pam, she would really like to hold on to the service game. Then she, to hold 3 times in a row, that would defy the law of averages of the people that Steffi Graf plays.
Well, she really hasn't done anything from 40-love up. I mean, Graf's totally dictated the last 3 points, so she's got to come up with a big play here.
Deuce.
It's 3 in this game alone of that second serve that she's missed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 74-mile-an-hour serve, and so there's not a lot of pace on it. And as you say, it gets up there, and it's an uncomfortable shot for Graf. 10 unforced errors for Steffi Graf, and 8 have been on the forehand side. Actually, 9 have been off the forehand side. She's only made 1 backhand error. Make that 2.
Just that one, so Zvereva holds on, and she has a 4-game-to-2 lead. She had a pretty good year last year, even the Grand Slams, got to the quarterfinals at Wimbledon and at the US Open. We've talked about 88 when she got to the final of the French Championships and lost badly to Graf, but she had a great match with Navratilova in that tournament.
Yes, she also beat Martina in a tournament in Filderstadt and got to the finals and lost to Mary Pierce. But she likes to play the serve and volleyers because she has all these off-pace shots and good angles, and it's actually a nightmare for a serve and volleyer to play against Zvereva.
You and I both found that out.
Yeah. I found it out not too long ago.
Pam still ranked number 50 in singles and in the top 10 in the world in doubles.
That's what I said. Doubles counts.
Got it.
That's the one Steffi likes to hit. When she steps around into the backhand corner, she likes to go off with the forehand. And in order to really, you got to try and pick that sometimes. You can't stand in the middle of the court because Graf's too good. You've got to pick a side.
That inside-out forehand is the same one that gave Andre Agassi so much trouble with his wrist, and he had wrist surgery in December. He's back. He will take on Pete Sampras in our final match tomorrow here in the men's singles, and that'll be a good one. 40-love, Graf.
That's something that Graf likes and needs. I mean, she gets an awful lot of cheap points from her serve.
That's That's a great shot. Good reflex action from both players.
And that's where you see her doubles come in. I mean, she gets those kind of points all the time in doubles, and she does it so well. She keeps it down low. Look at Graf. She's a great approach here, but look at the two-hander being whipped right down very low. Obviously, it's the neck cord makes it awkward. And the lobs. Zvereva's got a wonderful lob.
Really, does anybody have better hands than Zvereva in the game?
Not many, if any.
Yeah.
You're right.
So Graf holds on, but she is a breaker serve down. Zvereva ahead 4-3. She's going to serve. All. Missed it.
One thing that Zvereva's done very well so far in this match is she's made sure she's won the first point on all 4 of her service games, including this game. It's just such a nice thing to be up 15-love every service game.
And she did what you thought was a good idea too, Pam. She served the first point. She served an ace out wide, just to let Steffi know she's not afraid to go out to that forehand. It's really important because Steffi likes to cheat over a little bit so she can hit the forehands, and it's good to go out wide.
Oh, called long, and it's 15 all. No, excuse me, it is 30 all.
It was really the first backhand pass that she hauled off on and hit very effectively.
She's coming over the backhand side more now than she has in the last couple of years, hasn't she? Remember when she won the Grand Slam, I thought she was hitting a lot more topspin off the backhand, then she kind of lost it a little bit. Now she's getting it back.
Yeah, it's certainly something she's worked an awful lot on and just hasn't felt that comfortable using it in matches, but it's paying, all that work is paying off for her now.
All. Wondering about a call there, but she didn't get one.
And there was that loopy one. Zvereva did a great job because Steffi really penetrated Zvereva's backhand, but she was able to loop it high into the corner.
This match so far reminds me a lot of the way Sabatini could play Graf. I mean, Sabatini has good defensive skills. So does Zvereva. She can stay in this match with her from the ground.
Aim point. Missed that, so it's deuce.
And then she can attack and do it really well.
As Steffi goes to towel off, it is the hottest, most humid day so far of these championships, and there was a point for 5-3 Zvereva. So you don't want to make easy errors as she did with that backhand on the big points.
Deuce. Question for you two. Why is Steffi Graf not attacking the second serve more vehemently? Because she's looking at a 60, under 70 mile an hour second serve every time, and she's just not making Zvereva pay the price today.
Well, it's not in her instincts. We saw her do it once earlier in the match, but that's been it. But that one time she did it, she won the point.
Yeah, she really needs to step up and catch it, a little bit lower, so it's in her power zone.
Zvereva 5-3 first set.
Well, she's held serve 4 straight times now, and that is just, as we said, that's the key in this match. So few people can hold their serve against Graf because her return game is so big. And she's just so aggressive. The first strike of every ball against Graf is a dominating stroke. It dictates the play.
Zvereva's worked her way in a position to win this first set. She has won 2 sets before from Steffi Graf, both in tie breaks. As we look at the replay, Graf, there it is, hitting that forehand that she loves, stepping around into the backhand corner, opens it up for the backhand here.
Got it.
I would not say that Zvereva is showing much nerve. She is just swinging away. You know, you kind of got the feeling how comfortable and how at ease she was feeling and how good within herself. And it's just proof out here. She's playing so loosely. That's hard to do in this situation.
Remember how many big matches she's played in the last 2 years, center court, huge occasions, and doubles, and that helps.
Does help, yeah.
Sails wide, 30-15.
You know, it's just so nice to see, too, because women's tennis could certainly use a new face. And this player right here in your screen is so capable of moving up into that part of women's tennis, that upper echelon.
Game point. A lot of unforced errors of the forehand from Graf, especially. That one is nothing wrong with that one, and she holds on. Graf is trailing 5-4. Zvereva serving for the set, leading 5-4. Championship match in the women's singles of the Lipton.
Well, that's the first time she's lost the first point on serve, and you know she's trying to do something right now that nobody's been able to do this week here at Lipton, and that's hold serve 5 times in a row. Lindsay Davenport was the first to be able to hold 4 times.
And of course, Steffi Graf has won 54 straight sets.
Forehand error again. That's 12 now for this match. And as you two have said, as goes her forehand, so goes her game. She hasn't faced a break point yet.
And Zvereva is serving up the tough end. The sun is very much in her eyes right now.
I think that's a sign of nerves. I mean, she's feeling some pressure. She doesn't think about streaks, but here she is very close to losing her first set.
Except the forehand's been off the entire set, and I would have thought at some point in the set she would have settled down and hit it better. But I think it's confidence. When she knows it's off, she has trouble getting it back. He's the third player in this streak that'll have set points. Sanchez Vicario 2 weeks ago in the Virginia Slims of Florida had 2 set points at 5-4 in the second set of their final, and then Lindsay Davenport the other day.
And 2 more right here.
Either one of them converted. 40-15. Graf saves 1.
Well, one of the reasons why people have trouble converting is Steffi does have this tendency to pick up the pace. They don't make big errors on the big points.
I mean, she can lift the level of her game. I mean, she can pick it up a notch. Steffi actually thought that was in. Now, obviously, Natalia did, and she went for it. I mean, this is not a 10 kind of shot here. Let's see if we can just see how close it lands.
You can't overrule it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Once the linesman makes that call, it's too close to overrule. But in order to have a streak of 54 straight, you need to have a bit of luck.
Yep. Deuce. Oh, good comeback after a couple of, especially that call that she thought might have gone her way, comes right into the net, puts the volley away, and she has another set point. A collective sigh from this crowd.
And the only one, the only double fault today. You know, the sun does have some play in that double fault, but there might be a little nerves in that double fault as well.
Her fourth set point.
And the 8th one in this streak. And the crowd.
Well, they'd love to see someone, you know, really pose a threat, really, you know, push Graf.
Well, that time she decided to hit her second serve first. That was only a 72-mile-an-hour first serve, which was smart after the double fault on the last set point, but it was right at the forehand, and she wasn't really set up for the next shot.
Steers that one long, and here is a set point number 5.
And Natasha's doing something smart here. She's taking her time.
Just what I was thinking. Trying to collect herself. Find the solution to winning the big point.
And she needs to step up to this line right now and have a definite serve in mind. Do not waver.
She was going to serve and volley, which was, I think, a very positive move.
That's long, and Natalia Zvereva has won a set of Steffi Graf, so the streak is over.
And there's a standing ovation forming in this brand new stadium.
And Graf says, okay, I lost my first set.
Well, streaks are meant to be broken, and no one deserves to win 55 straight sets on the WTA Tour. Nobody. So it's over. I'm sure she'll be wanting to start a new streak. She's going for one.
Got it, but it's wide. 15-love. This crowd is into this, and Graf doesn't enjoy this too much. She just wants to get on with it.
Well, Steffi's ready to play, but once again, Natasha needs to catch her breath first off. She's taking her time.
First set that Graf has lost in 28 matches.
Oh, that's too good. Well, the bottom line is this match is Steffi's to win or to lose. I mean, she's, you know, she's made more on forced errors than normal. Normally she has a lot, but she's got more winners, and that's not the case so far.
thing Natasha has to realize is that the match isn't over. I mean, she's had a great victory winning one set, but come on, she's got to try and put together 2 great sets in this match. So she's apt to have a little bit of a lull, but she's got to get her act back together. It's love, 40 love.
Yeah, the hope for her is that she doesn't just say, okay, well, I got to say, boy, that's great, I did well. Now let's get out of here, because that could and does happen. Game point. But you know what? She's playing a smart match today, and she's hitting the ball solidly and well.
And this is the way she was trying to play the very last time they played. And I mean, it worked okay, but you know, the court speed was just too quick. And you know, she said, well, it worked well for me.
Lob is too short. Graf puts it away. Graf with a 1-game-to-love lead in the second set. But Zvereva has won the first set. Zvereva serving, trailing 1-game-to-love. Missed the forehand again.
It's got to be so frustrating.
15 love. Dade County now has the Marlins and the Heat and the Panthers and the Dolphins. The Marlins going into their second year, the Panthers making their debut. So the reason to move down to South, it's becoming a sports mecca this now. They've got a great golf event here and on Key Biscayne, as a matter of fact, and now the Lipton Championships. 15 all.
Second ace.
30-15.
Both times out wide.
82 miles an hour. Of course, you have to take some pace off that wide serve because you're trying to drop it short, get a lot of angle, take your opponent way out of court.
Also, the machine that reads the speed is straight down the center of the court, so when you do serve out wide, it doesn't register as fast anyway.
The other thing that Zvereva is doing so well today is mixing up her serve, not only the direction of her serve, but how often she comes in behind it. You know, she serves and stays back, she serves and comes in, and that puts a little thought in Graf's mind on the return.
Missed it.
The slice, it wasn't a great approach, but what it wasn't a lot of pace, and it was into the court, so Steffi had to move inside the baseline, and she's never been happy in that part of the court.
Second double fault, and that one was not even close.
First double fault was on a set point, her first set point, I think it was. It was a third set point.
Yeah.
She did serve a double on.
Still game point, Zvereva. Missed it, so Zvereva holds on, and it's 1 game all in the second set. She won the first 6 games to 4. Graf serving, 1 game all.
Graf's just hating this match right now. It's because no ball is true. When it comes off Zvereva's racket, it's got some queer spin on it. I mean, the slice approach that won her the last game was side spin and slice and crazy, and Graf hates it.
Nothing is clean. Everything's got a different action.
Tough to get into a rhythm, isn't it?
Yeah. And she's so composed and thinking so well, which says, you know, to our minds, we up here really believe she thinks she can win this match.
And she's come in with a clear game plan.
Well, you know, obviously the telling stages will be when she does get into a position to actually win it. That's a little ways away. And hopefully she will not be able to, you know, project her mind into the future and just really stay point by point. The first set is all about the forehand on forced errors from Steffi Graf. Both players are getting in about the same amount of serves. But, you know, the amazing thing is Zvereva did not face a break point at all in her set, and she held serve 5 times to win the set. 15 forehand on forced errors from Graf.
30 all here. Now game point for her.
She'd like to hit a lot more of those, wouldn't she? She'd like to start kind of balancing out that forehand winner, forehand on forced error. She needs some more forehand winners.
They've played 13 times before, and Graf has won every one. Losing only 2 sets.
Both in tie breaks. This is the first time Zvereva won a set from Graf without going to a tie break.
And both on clay, too, which would favor Zvereva.
Missed that one, so Graf holds on. She's got a 2-1 lead. No breaks to serve in this second set yet. As a matter of fact, Zvereva has not been broken yet. We'll be back with more from the Lipton Championships after this word from our local stations. Zvereva, 15 love. She is serving to Steffi Graf. She won the first set. She's down 2-1. Second set. Hasn't been a good day on the forehand side for Graf, and that's what has caused her problems.
Yeah, this is really the story of the match. I mean, twice as many errors off the forehand than winners, and that's not a good match for Steffi Graf. She normally has a few more unforced errors than winners, but the forehand winner column is usually very close to the unforced error column. Just missed. That's because Steffi Graf goes for her forehand, so she's going to make a lot of unforced errors, but she also normally hits a lot of winners. So she's really not playing a very good match right now.
As we see, Donna Ring from Sydney, Australia, travels the tour. She's a silver medal ITF umpire. They have bronze, silver, and gold. So she's working her way for a gold. It takes a lot of time to get the gold. There's only 2 women umpires, and it just takes a lot of evaluations and a lot of big matches.
You sort of get the feeling that Steffi will really kind of clean up after from her first set, where she made, it was kind of sloppy, made a lot of unforced errors, and that aggravates her. And you really get the feeling she'll try to straighten up.
30 all.
Yeah.
Steffi Graf finished her match with Davenport in the second set, also making a lot of unforced errors, and you know, we really felt she'd come out here today and do the opposite. Break point here. First one against Zvereva today.
And she's having trouble with her first serve into this ad court. She's got to straighten this out and get more first serves in.
Oh, look at that. Big backhand for a clean winner. You have to believe that Graf sport. She's tried to go to the forehand side so many times. This time I'm going to go to the backhand, but look at it, she picked it up.
And this is a sitting duck. It's a 56 mile an hour second serve. It's 1 mile over the speed limit, but Graf would like to just, she thinks she can hit it for a winner, but she can't, so she's annoyed.
Another break point for Graf. Trying to remember if she has hit a forehand winner off the second serve. At the top of my head, I don't remember it, and usually you see a lot of that from her. Break point. Ooh, steers that one into the net, and Steffi Graf has the break in the second set. 3 games to 1.
That's really the first mistake that Zvereva has made for real no reason. It was a shot that she has been routinely making, certainly throughout this first set.
Well, it was a shame. It was really her best first serve of the whole game. She had a beautiful one out wide.
And her favorite shot, too, the two-handed backhand.
And Skundhart is Steffi Graf's coach, and he's breathing a little easier now. Up a break.
Zvereva, I mean, she just has rubber bands for arms. They kind of stretch out when she needs them to. And I mean, this stab volley is just, I mean, to be able to control this, first of all, how does she get there? Split steps, and she just stabs at the ball in just such good hands and such a long reach. Boy, she does that a lot.
Reminder, she's one half of the best doubles team in the world, and that helps when you get to the net.
The other half,
Gigi Fernandez.
That's right, Gigi. She and Martina won some Grand Slam titles in 1990. And after this singles final, Zvereva and Fernandez will play their semifinal of the doubles against Renee Stubbs and Lori McNeil.
I asked Zvereva the other day about that. Was it nice to have a doubles match in between, you know, your semifinal and your final? And she says, yes, it's wonderful. You know, it's kind of a distraction. I get to think about my doubles match and not think about the final. Unlike in 1988 when she reached the final, her only Grand Slam final at the French Open, she had a whole day to think about it. She said she sat around her room all day and just, you know, couldn't get the thought off of her mind. She was a nervous wreck out there.
That was the same year, in '88, that Steffi Graf won the Grand Slam. In fact, the Golden Slam, because she won a gold medal at the Olympics as well. She very nearly won the same thing in '89, except Sanchez Vicario beat her in the French Open final at that same court. But she won every other Grand Slam that year, and it has never been done before, back-to-back Grand Slams.
It's also that same year, '88, is the last time she's been able to win this title right here at the Lipton.
30-all.
That was a big opportunity for Zvereva. It was 15-30 second serve, having just lost her first service game, down 3-1 in this set. So now it's 30-all, but it would have been great to be up 15-40.
Steers that one long. So we have a breakpoint opportunity.
And this is kind of what you were just talking about, Cliff. I mean, 1988 were really great years for both of these two players. It certainly was Zvereva's best singles year. That was the year she achieved her number 5 ranking. It was the year that Graf achieved her golden Grand Slam.
Second serve, break point. She's down a break, Zvereva. That's just a very good passing shot. She came over that backhand like she has done so successfully all year for the pass.
Did everything right because she made Steffi hit a couple of big backhands on break point. Remember, this was a break point to get back even in this set with serve. There's one, goes up the line. Zvereva makes her hit there were two in a row that she had to hit.
Point for Zvereva.
Well, she's not going to go away in this second set. This is the side she likes. This two-handed backhand of hers is just so good. And here's the fun side of Zvereva. Colorful, entertaining.
She loves to dance. I mean, any player party where there's a decent band, she's, what I think, making a fool of herself, but she has a great time.
Back to deuce.
She won $100 off me one time at a disco in Stuttgart, Germany, because she went up on a single podium and danced in the middle of this crowded nightclub for 10 minutes. And I don't mean just like a conservative dance. I mean, so I lost 100, but it was worth it.
Deuce.
She has a great sense of humor.
Clip the line. Ooh. Zvereva would have liked to have gotten out call on that one. It was very close, but this is game point now for Graf.
Sometimes on the hard court you can actually look and see a mark, and she didn't really question that too much. She may have seen it just clipping the line. That would have been a reasonable return.
Zvereva had her chances, didn't she? But was unable to convert. Graf 4-1, second set. You're watching the women's singles final at the Lipton Championships. Betsy Nagelsen, Pam Shriver, Cliff Drysdale watching Steffi Graf and Natalia Zvereva. It's 6-4. Zvereva won the first set. Graf is leading in the second 4-1. This is Zvereva serving. Love 15. I get asked this question a lot, and I know that you two get asked it more often than I do. What about Monica Seles? When is she coming back?
Well, you know, I mean, I don't think anybody really knows for sure. Obviously, the game misses her desperately. Certainly, Steffi Graf misses that rivalry, someone to continue to challenge her. You know, and despite the lack of rivalries, Steffi Graf, you know, her game continues to improve.
Besides Steffi being very healthy and very excited to play this year, I think also the reason why she's dominated the other players on the tour is because she hasn't had Monica to beat up on her the way she was beating up on her in '92 and '93. The last time Steffi lost a Grand Slam match was the last time that Monica played a Grand Slam tournament, the Australian Open in '93.
Do you think she's going to come back this year, Pam? Do you?
I hope she comes back. I think saying
Nobody
anything
knows.
more is exactly, it's so speculative.
I think it's pretty safe to say that we miss her, the game misses her, the sport of, you know, certainly the sport desperately misses her because, you know, she had such a different style. I mean, nobody could hit as hard as she could, as accurately in the game. And when Seles and Graf played each other, I mean, that was some of the most exciting tennis you could see.
One of the great matches of all time was a 7-6 in the third, semifinals U.S. Open, Capriati-Celis.
Wasn't that a great one that was? Break point here for Graf. For a second break in the second set. She's leading 4-1. So the answer to the question is really nobody knows when Monica Seles is going to come back. What's this?
We're going to see here the two-hander up the line. That's really Zvereva's favorite. But there's no way, even if you pick it, you're not going to get that one. It's really an up-the-line angle, which I've never seen before.
She could achieve that because she keeps her hands so close to her body, and she gets such great speed with the hands. From both players, Natasha did a great job to make that stab volley, reflex volley. This is the one here. What a sitting duck, and this is what she does so well. I mean, that's why she's such a great doubles player. A good move from Steffi to come in. She hits a lob, she follows it in. That's a serve and volleyer's instinct.
But the lob was the play because Steffi's looking into the sun up that far end. I don't know why Natasha chose to drive that ball.
Break point for Graf again. The other night, Betsy was talking to Zvereva and said Natalia, and she said, "You can call me Natasha." So just for your information, Natasha is the name that she likes and the name that her friends on tour call her. Break point. Second of this game for Graf.
There it is again, and she slowed the tempo down. She's had game points both in the previous game, service game, as Steffi Graf's. Here's that wonderful backhand. Can't really tell, you can't read it. When you're an opponent, you have no idea which way it's going. But now Steffi's taking her time, toweling off.
That's a forehand from Graf that she's really improved too. 9 out of 10 of those forehands that she runs around, she'd take inside out. Now she's starting to take many more, down this line, more cross court. So now the opponent's got to worry about that one as well as the one out wide. Break point.
They have both broken once, of 4 chances in Graf's case and 3 in Zvereva's. Missed that one, so there is the second breaker serve for Steffi Graf. She leads 5 games to 1 and will serve for the set. Steffi Graf, how about whether she misses Seles and Capriati?
Sure, I also want to be pushed a little bit further than I have maybe in the beginning of the year, but I think eventually it will happen, but maybe I'm missing a little bit of it, yeah.
Do you miss Monica?
I miss Monica, I miss Jennifer. I think there are a few players there that could push me even a little bit further to get better. And yeah, I miss that.
You two have been saying the tennis world misses them both.
Yeah, and these things go in cycles. I mean, obviously it's an extreme circumstance that we don't have Monica competing on the tour, but in a couple of years, this whole thing could change and there'll be a couple of more tough players. Just like the way in American tennis on the men's side a couple of years ago, everyone was saying there's nobody, and now look.
Suddenly just, I mean, 3 of the 4 semi-finalists here were all from the USA. Very nearly 4 of 4. Agassi, Courier, and of course Sampras, and it could have been Jim Grab, except Pat Rafter from Australia snuck his nose in there. Take a look at those unforced errors. Graf in the first set had so many. Now she's cut them way down.
Yeah, she's really cleaned up her act in this second set.
30 all.
Pam, you make a really good point. I mean, Monica Seles was just, you know, a phenom on the circuit, and her achievements were incredible. In 3 short years, she wins 8 Grand Slams. You know, but yes, in time there's gonna be more great players that come along.
I also happen to think that you're seeing one of the great women players of all time. I mean, Steffi Graf is not just your average #1 player even. I think she is exceptional.
Set point for her. Double fault. It would be remiss of me not to ask you if you think that after Capriati graduates, will she be back this year?
Again, trying to speculate. Again, I hope so, but who knows? She's struggling with a few things.
Question mark there too, then. Deuce.
That was Graf's. I'm sorry, Pam. That was Graf's only double fault, and she happened to serve a double fault just like Zvereva did on a set point. Set number 2. Set point number 2.
Deuce again.
Well, this set at 5-1, I mean, the crowd's kind of been taken out of the action a bit, and it seems like a real runaway. But remember the 3-1 game after Graf broke. Zvereva had break points to get back, and then she had game points at 4-1. So the set's really been closer than 5-1.
This great stadium can accommodate 14,000 people. 7,500 seats are permanent, 6,500 are temporary. It is jammed.
Smart shot there. I think Natalia was looking for the slice to go cross court.
Third set point for Graf. That is it. Graf has won the second set easily, 6 games to 1. Third set. This great stadium here at the Lipton Championships has done this championship proud. Make no mistake about it. The Grand Slams are one thing, but the Lipton Championships is the next best thing to the Grand Slams. Here, Steffi Graf and Natalia Zvereva are battling it out here in the third set. First game, 1 set all. It's the women's singles final.
And Natasha's lost 5 straight games. It was 1-all. She held her opening service game of the second set, and Graf's gone on a real run. And this game is huge if she's going to get back in this match. She's got to hold serve the opening game of the third.
The games were close. I mean, she was in them. She was competitive. But, you know, a few more errors crept in. And the big points, the important points she wasn't able to win like she was in the first set.
Missed it. 15-30.
And also you get the feeling that Graf has really settled down. I mean, she's, you know, cut way down on the unforced errors now. She's saying, okay, I'm going to stay in this thing. I'm not going to make errors. And Pam, as you mentioned, I mean, it is hot today. And Zvereva could be feeling the heat. Heinz Gunther, who's been so, you know, helpful to the Graf game. In fact, she gives him all the credit for the variety in her game, for the improvement, for some of the things she's never done before, just showing her new strategies, drop shots coming in.
This is the start of his third full year as the coach of Steffi Graf, and as you mentioned, Betsy, bringing in some new dimensions. Pavel Slazel was unable to get her to attack second serves or to come to net, and while it's not a major part of her game now, she is more comfortable.
Break points for Graf.
Real trouble in this opening service games for Zvereva.
Ooh, late call. Players hate late calls. You just, you know, you think the point's alive and you're ready to hit that first volley, and then you hear a fault.
It's like even Steffi Graf hated that one. Second serve break point. Graf leads 1-0 in the third now. Graf serving, second game, third set. She leads 1-0. Pam, you were saying at the break just how tough it is to stay with Steffi Graf and to run all of her shots down. Well, physically.
Exactly. I mean, it's a very violent effort as an opponent of Steffi Graf's that you have to put forth, and you have to do it in order to win a match. Obviously, you have to play 2 great sets. Zvereva played 1, and so far she's having trouble getting into any winning position. Steffi doesn't leave you alone on the court. You're always having to move, and move quickly to get to her balls. Zvereva has to do is she has to gamble some. I mean, on some of these serves, that was a 74-mile-an-hour second serve, and she just really got the ball in play. Betsy, she's got to gamble right now.
Yeah, she's got to really keep attacking. I mean, that's what she was doing in the first set. She was very aggressive. She was really going for shots early on, trying to be aggressive. No, but the thing is, she was willing to stay in points. I mean, when Graf had to hit, you know, take a swing at the ball 3 times or more, Zvereva was winning 27 of the, you know, out of 50 of those points. But when Graf only had to hit 2 shots or less in a point, you know, Graf was in total control.
Game point, Graf.
And Graf was going to serve volley on that point, which she often likes to do when she's up 40-love. I'd like to see her do it at 40-30 or 30-40 one time.
I mean, it's hard to stay in a point with Steffi Graf. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you've got to be so fast, you've got to be so fit, because you have to work so hard.
2-0 Graf. It is a beautiful day for shots from the overhead blimp, and that's the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. It's 192 feet long, if you're interested, based in Pompano Beach, Florida. And what a great day to be up there again is all I can say, because it's perfect weather for flying, swimming, or tennis. Nice. Could not have been hit cleaner or sweeter, and it's love 15.
Zvereva did a great job in that point to stay in it with this overhead that's coming up now. Steffi Graf hits a topspin backhand lob, which you very seldom see. Zvereva just barely gets to it, but the line's open. And she's a little bit tired about this time, having lost 7 games in a row. So when you're tired like this, you want short points. You want to serve volley some more. You want to take the gamble and come to net as much as possible.
It is a sensational stadium that houses the USTA Player Development Program. They have a tremendous workout room here. They've got a wonderful press area. The players love it because you can eat in the press in the players area and watch matches, and take a look where it's located. One of the most beautiful spots in all of the world. Key Biscayne, Florida. $15 all. In fact, it is a tennis stadium by which other tennis stadiums will be judged in the future.
All the players certainly have raved about it.
So have the press.
Yeah, I mean, the facilities are just so nice here, so spacious.
And the public. They're the most important of all. $30-15. Game point. Now, grass courts will be built in this complex. They're not done yet, but there are hard courts, there are clay courts, and of course the stadium court is a hard court, and the majority of the courts are hard. Game point for Zvereva, and she hasn't won a game in a while. But she wins that one. She's on the board in the 3rd set. We'll be back with more from the Lipton Championships after this word from our local stations.
Hope for a fault.
First point of the game. Graf wins it, 15 love Graf, 2 games to 1 Graf, 1 set apiece in this final of the Lipton Championship, the tennis center at Crandon Park on Key Biscayne. $30 love.
And the prize money for this event, $150,000 to the winner and 50 tour points. These are the points that get you into the year-end championship. Runner-up, $75,000. Not on equal terms of the men, which is a little bone of contention that we have, but soon to be corrected in the future, we think.
Game point, Graf. Graf holds on and it's 3 games to 1. Sorry, Betsy.
And this is also what they're playing for. Some nice hardware. Isn't it beautiful? An entirely different 3rd set scenario. Graf has certainly picked her game up, and Zvereva is certainly tired. She's had to work awfully hard to get to this position. They've been out here just over an hour and a half. It's a very hot day, very humid. She's had to work very hard to, not only to win the 1st set, but even the 2nd set, even though the score was very one-sided, it was still fairly competitive. She was in there with some chances.
Martina Navratilova 3 times actually won 3 tournaments in 3 consecutive weeks. Nobody's done it since then. Steffi Graf is trying to do that today, and she leads 3-1 in the third set. It was she that ushered out the era of Everett Navratilova. And then Gabriela Sabatini took the scene, and it looked like it was going to be Graf and Sabatini, but Sabatini never really challenged her. Then along came Monica Seles, and it was a whole different story. I think Steffi Graf would just as soon not have seen Monica Seles, and then she was stabbed in the spring of last year and has not played since then. And Graf has dominated since that time. Love 30.
Steffi Graf's played 142 three-set matches in her life, having lost only 35 of those. She's lost 82 matches total in her lifetime. Won only 683.
It's some scary and impressive numbers Steffi Graf has got under her belt. I mean, she's only lost to 13 players since 1985. 39 matches only she's lost.
Great points for Graf. Who has the best chance of challenging Steffi Graf on the women's tour if Seles does not come back? Kamiko Date, she got a chance. How about Lindsay Davenport?
Well, Date doesn't have a
Rubin?
big enough shot. Davenport, though, she's got the power. She can, if she gets in a little better shape and learns to play the big points just a tad better, she's improving every month on the tour.
They're 17 years old. Semi-finalist here. Break point Graf. There's a second break for Graf. She has really dominated this match since the beginning of the second set. It's 4-1. 15 all in this game, 4-1. Graf leads. Crowd are whistling because they don't like a call in that last point, but that's not going to help Natalia Zvereva any.
And there's Donna Ring, the chair umpire, but the point, if it had have been called long, it would have given Zvereva love 30 and at least a little window to break and possibly get back in the match. She needed to be doing a little earlier is take some of those second serves and put a little pressure. She's got the big shots to do this. Her forehand can be a very big weapon, and we haven't seen it in almost 2 sets.
15-30.
When you get a little tired on the court and you're facing Steffi Graf and the serve comes down firmly, sometimes it is hard to control it. I look at that last floaty return and I just feel like her whole body is just tired.
Made the point. It takes a lot out of you to play against Graf. Zvereva has got a break point here. I like her backhand down the line. Also, that two-hander that she hits flat down the line, Pam. And I'm talking about Zvereva now.
And it's perfect against Steffi because Steffi's always looking that people are going to go to her backhand all the time. So she often hops over to her left. And now it's a break point. Her first break point of this third set.
And there it is.
They're down to the forehand, except it was a forehand that Zvereva hit, but that's exactly right, Cliff. It was Graf would have hit the serve and would have been looking for a backhand.
So Zvereva has not given up yet. 4-2, Graf leads now. Watch this again.
And see if you can see Steffi after the serve. See if she doesn't look up. See how her weight is really leaning to her left. And And she also stands a fair bit over when she serves into that ad court. Well, and after almost 2 sets of taking a little easy, the crowd's suddenly gotten back into this match. It's 15-love. Zvereva, if she holds serve, she's back in the set.
Called long. Graf doesn't like that call, and we'll not get any overrule from Diana Ring in the chair, and it's 30-love. Got it.
It was a good gamble to take to try and slice that out wide, and very few players can reach this far wide. Look at this extension and how she whips her racket face around. I mean, if her racket face had kept going, it would have hit her in the face. It's probably the best way for the little equality on the tours if Graf starts beating up on herself. We don't want that to happen, though.
40-15 Pam. Women's tennis has lost enough players to lose Steffi Graf as well, with Monica Seles out and Capriati finishing up at school. Neither one of them indicating for sure when they're coming back.
And of course, we have one more season of singles from one of the greats of all time, Martina Navratilova.
Called a fault. Crowd did not realize it. He has a second serve.
Well, the scoreboard's already registered 4-3.
No! Out of the corner of her eye, she could see as she was making the swing into that Steffi Graf had decided to make the move to cover the forehand cross court, which is exactly what she did. So take a look at this right here now. You have a look at her. Now watch this. She sees out of the corner of her eye that Graf has already started to make her move, and that's why she pulled that ball down. Didn't concentrate.
Luck as the net cord may have messed up Zvereva's volley there. So we go from having game points for 4-3 to back to deuce.
Another game point for Zvereva.
It's always a dilemma now whether or not to go for the big serve and risk missing it, or just play a safe first serve and not have to hit a second.
That's too tough.
Nothing you can do. Natasha did a great job to stay in that point. She hit the forehand coming up right now very hard, actually, from the run. She really hit that, but Steffi takes it off. Really, she hits it so late. It's unbelievable that she can really control that as well as she does.
Kind of shot that she hits. If she hits it, you got to say, well played. Not much you can do about that. It was almost a half volley from the baseline that she hit for a clean winner. Deuce.
Well, now it's a game point for Graf to take a 5-2 lead, and she's had this window of opportunity to get back into this match. She did a great job after losing so many games in a row to get 3 points to 4-3, and now it's going the other way.
Break point, Graf. She gave up on it just a little too soon. And Graf holds on. She has a 5-2 lead now in the third set. She's very much in control. This is the final of the Lipton. You're watching the Lipton Championships. Graf and Zvereva, 5-2. Graf leads it. This is Graf serving for the match. It's 15-love Graf, now 30-love Graf.
And that approach shot's not carrying the same weight or location that it did in the first set when that play was so useful. You got to try and get deep into that backhand corner.
2 points from the match for Graf now. Match points for Steffi Graf.
About to win her 28th straight match of this year. 32 if you go back to the Virginia Slims Championships, the last event of '93. She served and volleyed. It was 40-love. I got to remember that.
Still set and match point and championship point for Graf. Steffi Graf is the winner of the Lipton for this year. Natalia Zvereva gave her a very, very good fight in the first set, especially, and after that, Pam Shriver was all Steffi Graf.
It was a combination of maybe not quite good enough conditioning. You've got to be so strong to stay with Steffi Graf to win the match, but maybe a little bit of a barrier down. The rest of the players have seen her come close to losing sets. Now she lost this one. Maybe she'll lose some matches in the future.
Graf is the winner. She has won this match in 3 sets. That is 28 straight matches. It is 32 straight matches if you count the end of last year as well. So this great stadium at the Lipton Championships has seen a tremendous women's singles final, at least in the first set, with Zvereva winning the first set.
Well, coming up next is the men's singles final between the #1 player in the world, Pete Sampras, as he takes on the comeback kid, Andre Agassi. He's been out of the game for 5 months with a wrist problem. Let's see how he comes through today against the #1 man in this tournament. We'll be right back.